rid of all your wealth, rid of all your fame. When your time has come, you won't have a name. Rid of all your wealth, rid of all your fame. When your time has come, you won't have a name.
Welcome everybody back to the Bag Brigade podcast. we got another special returning guest, Mr. Cheeseburger, Chicken Burger, whatever the hell you want to call him. You know.
Yeah, that works.
Now your internet's getting a little choppy. I heard it there for a second. And we have the co-host of the old Tiz Talk podcast and now the Bag Brigade podcast, Mr. TooWokeToGoBroke. What's up, dog?
Oh, not much, man. Just chilling. Put the baby down for a nap, man, or sleep now. So hopefully he'll go down for a bit.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. Been too many distractions with these, with the babies and these futures.
Oh, fuck. God, don't get me started.
Man. All right. Well, this is going to be the third episode of the Bag Brigade podcast because both of y'all weren't on the last one. The last one I did with...
What was the last one? What'd you do? Who was it?
I interviewed two of the younger guys from my Discord server, trading server. They're like 18 or whatever. I just wanted to get their perspective on like what trading is to that, like, just get it what it's like to be that young and have access to like trading
that young and that rich.
Well, we didn't have it. Shit, when we were that age, you had to fucking call a broker. Maybe you could get it on your computer. I mean, we weren't trading options. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted their perspective.
I was broker back then. Get it?
Yes.
Get it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, what's up, dude?
Get it. No,
you heard Trump spit. You heard they're eating the dogs over there?
Yeah, dogs and cats. Dogs and cats. Your internet. Dogs and cats.
Oh my God. What'd y'all think?
What?
What'd you think about
the debate?
The first debate?
That was the second.
Were you on mushrooms again?
I think it was the...
yes, I was. I did. It's like a thing now. I'm going to take boomers every time just because fuck these boomers. It's just like me saying.
Yeah, you're going to take bloomers for the boomers?
Bloomer for the boomers.
Well, I think it's going to be the only debate, isn't it?
That's fucking Trump's being a little bitch.
Yeah.
I thought it was...
Cheeseburger is so anti-MAGA. It's so funny to me. It's like...
So
how could you not be, dude? He's such a...
Dude, as we said before, we don't give a fuck about this shit. It's a puppet show to me. It's all comedy. It doesn't matter to me who wins the presidency. I'm sorry. To me, it doesn't. I'm telling you, I'm green, baby. It's
all a big distraction from what they're doing. Like they just did. The biggest decisions get made regardless. Like we just had a rate cut while everything's going fine, but these boomers want to just fucking scrape every penny out of the fucking markets and shit that they can, no matter what it costs us.
Cheeseburger, do you even understand like the implications of what happened yesterday with this 50 basis point?
I mean, it was like what, a 0.25% rate cut or some bullshit?
It was 0.5%, 50 basis points.
Okay.
Like, do you understand like the implications? Do you understand like...
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little bit cheaper to borrow money, right?
Well, yes. I mean, in a very simple way to put it, yes.
Yeah. You got to put it in a simple way for me.
Well, the thing that's not simple about it is like inflation's still higher than the goal rate. Like it's come down a lot, but it's still higher than the goal rate. And we already had all this inflation over the last few years. So like it compounds on itself, you know what I mean? So it's like a matter of, if you just went through 20% and now you're still like 50% higher than you want to be going forward, that's even more inflation on top of old inflation. You know what I mean?
So okay. So when you lower rates, inflation rises. Is that the deal?
Well, not necessarily always, but in this case, like they're doing it while inflation's still higher than they really have historically wanted it. So it's it's just greedy. It's greedy right now. Like, and it's trying to like stave off and like I think it's trying to stave off a cooling job market. And then potentially help like a lot of other issues that are going on, like with real estate, like we talked about last time. But all in all, it's just greedy. Like it's like
you're right. It is. I agree with.
So you'd rather not see a rate cut right now?
Well,
I just don't think it's necessary.
Me too. I didn't think it was necessary, and I only say that because the economy is still strong. Okay. Yes, the revisions on the job reports and all that stuff have been out of this world, off the charts. Like that shit blows my mind. But still, the economy's booming. Wait,
what does that mean? That means there's low unemployment right now.
Like so, low unemployment. So what they're doing is high. Corporate earnings are high.
They always put out jobs data, like jobless claims. The JOLTS, the non-farm payrolls, all this stuff that every month, and every month they come out with the numbers of, unemployment rate or whatever. And then when the next month comes, they report the number, but then they also bring back the revised numbers from the month before. And it was much worse than it actually was. And they've been doing that every single month of 2024. They have revised all that data
by like 20 to 25% every single month.
It's insane. It's dude, it's almost like it's I mean it is a rigged game. I mean, this shit, it's all rigged.
But basically the point is like usually you don't see like this kind of happens when things are getting like already kind of hitting the fan, like usually they don't like make moves like this unless it's like, oh shit. Like, so it's kind of sending like a funny market, message to everybody as well. Like, what does it say?
And COVID, they cut 50 basis points first, right?
Yeah.
50 basis point cut. That was because shit hit the fan. Shit isn't.
So I guess, we got on a tangent, but the point is, it doesn't matter who the fucking president is, man. They're going to do what they're going to do.
well, maybe not financially, but like for other things, it does, right? It does matter.
It's not a tangent.
It's still Congress, that does everything. So the president's kind of just represents like, I guess, who feels in charge for 4 years. Like somebody gets to feel in charge. It's the
people like the Koch brothers behind the curtains that are basically running the show. Okay, yeah. For at least.
Hey, I'm looking for some Koch brothers. If y'all know,
Well, I know plenty of Koch brothers. I don't fuck with that shit.
Okay, wait. Let's talk. So who? Okay, y'all watched the debate? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she won
on
the
mushrooms
debate.
Again. It was wild.
I'll tell you this, like she won the debate and she did it without having to say anything. And I was telling him, like, it's crazy that your opponent's weakness is like that they don't have any policy, really right now. And you come and you don't provide any, and then you just say stupid shit and just lose on the emotional side. Like, it was probably one of the worst debate performances in modern history, I'd say, in my opinion.
You mean for both of them or for Trump?
Well, for Trump especially, but she just did what she had to do, and he didn't do anything to upset what she was trying to do. Like, she came in, and he didn't do anything that made her maneuver out of her game plan. Like, she just stood there, kept it cool, smiled, and then didn't have to come with any answers on like any real policy. So she won. Yeah. Like that's exactly what best case scenario.
Well, ABC did. ABC, basically, in my opinion.
What did you think about ABC?
Excuse me. ABC did a horrible job of coordinating that fucking thing. Personally,
why? Why was it so bad?
First of all, they didn't even ask the one I think important question is to both of them. What about what are you going to do about the GDP to debt situation? That didn't even get brought up. Okay, that's a huge deal. Didn't even get brought up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
They started talking about eating cats and dogs and shit like that. It's like, what?
Well, I think what Kamala did, I think she was coached to bait Trump, and get him off message, because he's like easily, like, you can rattle him, I think. And I think that's what she did. She came out and she was like, people leave his fucking rallies and his crowds aren't big or whatever. She just said shit that would get him off track. And then that's when he started talking about eating dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
you know what I mean?
I think that,
I'll tell you what, it was pretty funny to me to hear that in my state of mind.
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I think she did get him like a little. I think with that question, she did get him maybe it was like good bait and he took it. But honestly, it seemed like his plan is what he did, which was just come in and hammer about fucking immigrants the whole time. Like that was pretty much what he took it back to every single.
Well, that's question. That's like his strongest point against her, right? Because she
Afghanistan. I thought Afghanistan too. And inflation and shit, even though he was responsible for a lot of it as well. But it's just like that, you're in charge, you take the blame for it. So inflation, but he went back to like fucking immigration, like no matter what the question was.
Well, that's like the red meat that he's just like feeding his base. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He's just like Mexicans and Haitians. Taking
he
your job.
Never even, I mean, exactly. I mean,
he said the border. He said border. He said the word. He used the word border. The border was, perfect. Was excellent when I was. The border was excellent when I was in office.
Well, my question is this: is like, what do these debates really do? You think? I was telling
nothing.
I think it was my mom. I was just like, look, I mean, at the end of the day, is anybody actually changing their vote? I think the best case scenario was like people maybe saw Kamala and would get off their ass to vote for her if they weren't going to before. Maybe some people are like, oh, she's all right.
Well, I think there's
I don't think too many minds were changed. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a small sliver of undecided voters,
Yeah.
I feel like they're mainly Republican voters that just like don't feel comfortable voting for Trump, and they're like looking for a reason to maybe vote for the Democrats. And
I don't think there's enough of them.
With the electoral college, like you just have to get like a small number of undecided voters to win, like Pennsylvania by like 50,000 votes and Georgia by like 20,000 votes. And you know what I mean? Like you just need to like
Florida's gonna
flip a few people in these.
Too. I heard something about
So the
Florida.
Question I guess I would ask you from a prediction standpoint.
Well, I don't know. Florida's pretty. I lived in Florida, and man, I swear. I mean,
I don't know about Florida, but I think Pennsylvania, she's up by like 5 points. Georgia's like neck and neck.
She'll probably get
Ohio.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, all the Democrats have to do is win like Wisconsin, Michigan.
Democrats, motherfucker. They are
the Crips. My bad. Yeah, Wisconsin, Michigan, which I think they solidly won, and then Pennsylvania, and I think they got it in the bag. I haven't really looked at a map in a while, but last time around they won Georgia and Arizona, and that was huge. I don't even think they have to win those states to now. It's all about Pennsylvania, right? Whoever wins Pennsylvania, it's like 20 electoral college votes. I think wins the election.
I can definitely look it up, but
and I think Kamala's up like 5 percentage points in the polls. I mean, which is just a snapshot, but if they win Pennsylvania, I think it's game over, and it's looking like it's going to go blue. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, before, like, I was wrong. Like, after Biden lost the debate, I was like, saying I didn't think she was going to be able to do much better, but almost instantaneously when she, took over as the candidate, online, like things just shifted. Like everything I'm seeing on social media. Like, but granted, it's like, are they just feeding us that also? Like, it is social media, and you see what they. But it's like the comments are just like it just changed overnight. Like Biden was going to get trounced, but I think she's actually ahead and probably going to win.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like 2008 with Obama, right? It's like for the first time in a while, we don't have like two 80-year-old men going to win the presidency. So I think there's some some excitement on the Democratic
side. People get fooled by that shit for sure. Yeah, no doubt. They're going to be like, feel good.
They got and then Taylor Swift coming in, bringing all the Swifties on board. You know what I'm saying?
She doesn't even deserve to have the name Taylor.
Dude, she's the real Swift. She's the real Taylor.
Yeah, whatever.
But so I think you're right, man. I mean, I do.
As you both know, I don't have an iron in this fire. I just know that whatever happens, whoever
make a prediction though.
Well, you gotta make a prediction. Whoever takes it first. Let me say this: it's going to affect certain things, as you know, to like tariffs if Trump, right? The whole U.S. steel thing. And if Kamala wins, and the fucking Crips win, like, I do feel like there's going to be a lot more money printing again for any reason. And it's typically good for assets like equities, house prices usually rise in those situations. I mean, I typically, so do you want my prediction? I still think, as much as I don't give a shit about this, I still think Trump's going to win it.
Okay.
I just do.
Yeah. What do y'all think about Trump's new girlfriend? You heard about this girlfriend? No. This chick, Laura Loomer. Have you heard about her?
Oh, that nut job lady. Yeah, I've heard about her.
Dude, I think she's like bragging to her friends that she like blew Trump and gave him the best blowjob of his life or something.
Somebody mentioned something that breaking news, by the way, this just came out. China unexpectedly leaves benchmark lending rates unchanged after Fed's jumbo cut. This just dropped TooWoke.
Nice.
So I don't really know. Let's see. The People's Bank of China said it would keep the 1-year loan prime rate at 3.35%, as well as the 5-year at 3.85%.
That should be good. I bet you'll see the yen rip off of that.
Well, we can look at that too in a little bit. But no, I mean, look, I don't really care, but I do believe. I just think Trump's still gonna take it.
Okay, well, that's good. I just wanted to hear your prediction. I mean,
why do I think that? For multiple reasons, but it's so close, honestly, and I see both sides of it. It's really even hard for me to say that. It really is. Like at first, like last time we did this, I was like, oh yeah, Trump all the way. But that changed.
He was going to kill. He was going to kill Biden. Like it was going to look like
no,
Reagan.
I'm talking about even when Kamala was, even after he got, his first assassination attempt.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
What do y'all think? What do you think about Kamala's running mate, Tim Walz?
I mean, you know what? He's just
honestly, I don't really know shit about the guy. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I give a fuck about Tim Walz. I don't give a fuck about him.
Wait, isn't he from?
Seems pretty fucking. He seems cool.
Any senator or governor?
No, he's the governor of Minnesota.
Honestly, he to me, he did something stupid with calling them all weird, because it's like that's exactly what Hillary Clinton did, calling them deplorables and shit, and all that does is get them fired up more than it gets your own.
I don't know. I think it really got under their skin. I think the Democrats are doing something smart, and they're just like getting under the Republican skin. Like. Trump.
Oh my God! How many times do I have to tell you to stop calling them that, bro?
What? Oh, the Crips.
So
the Crips.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of what that's kind of what the Bloods have been doing for years, bro? So it's like,
I know, and it's worked for them, to an extent.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting.
The Bloods win. You're going to see they're going to try to give the top 1%, the richest people, better tax cuts, things like that. You're going to see tariffs for sure,
and that sucks, right? Tariffs and tax cuts for the rich.
It depends on how you look at it. Because honestly, if you want jobs created, like if you want to keep, like instead of outsourcing your job, like your labor in another country, well, then if you want Americans to get paid instead of losing jobs to other countries, Trump put tariffs on China in 2018. And it's not, like TooWoke always reminds me, it's not affecting the Chinese company. It's the American company that has to pay the tariff tax on it.
Yeah.
And it's all due to force them to,
But then but wouldn't that scenario just make everything more expensive for you and I? And then it'll just make the richer,
but here's the deal.
richer.
We're in a global. The whole thing is the way Trump, I think, looks at it, and a lot of people look at it, is like we have been in a global. It's been like a global society, right? Everything is global, and at this point,
we sold out our own country to enrich them.
Yeah, with all the tensions with China and all these other countries, it's like we're trying to be more self-sufficient, and that is what the tariffs are doing. So there's going to be a price to be paid for it. It depends on how you look at it, though. Everybody's going to be affected negatively in one way or the other, whoever wins and what policies take place.
You got to remember, Kamala and Biden he was right about that. They kept a lot of his fucking tariffs in place. So
I think like a broken clock is right 2 times a day or whatever. Yeah. Like I think there were certain things that Trump did where they did keep some of those tariffs in place, right? So like I know there's like benefits to tariffs, but there's also, a price to be paid on consumer products, right?
Well, here's my thing.
Well, it's not really, it wasn't consumer product. Well, I mean, I guess it ended up.
Well, it is from China. He's right, but it's
but okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. Some of Trump's ideas aren't bad. Like one thing I will say that was good about maybe the Trump presidency, like the one thing I can think of is like, he was tough on China, right? And he was tough on some of these guys, and it kind of put things in a different perspective because like I don't know. It seemed like American corporations were just like bowing down to China for decades under like Bush and Obama and whatever.
Well, we built them up.
There was like cheap goods, right?
It wasn't for us.
And then
we built them up.
And so it was a little bit more like sticking it to China, I guess, under the
we built them up to the point, like, because we originally started outsourcing to China because it was cheap labor, right? Well, over the years, they became very, 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 very good at, manufacturing and designing technology products. So Tim White, not Tim Apple, like Trump says, from the CEO of Apple, even said,
no, Tim Cook. His name's Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Whatever. He even said in some interview, I don't know when it was, he's like, people think that, we still use China just because it's cheap labor. It's actually not nearly as cheap as it used to be. It's actually because they are very, very, very advanced at their technology, like manufacturing.
Well, a lot of it is like fucking pollution and materials too. Like they have a lot of that fucking raw material, but also like people would rather them do a bunch of dirty ass jobs over there and not have them over here. You know what I mean? So out of sight, out of mind too. Like they can go pollute on the other side of the world and not have to pay as much money because nobody gives a fuck. Whereas like, here they're going to make you have some certain smokestack and this, that, and the other and make shit safe and all that shit. So Tim Cook's kind of full of shit, but also,
he made a point though. I mean, it is true,
but it's a long-term fucking, it's been a big time globalist. Like you said, the main word's global. The globalists have slowly been selling us out for a long time. And the problem with tariffs is you should be able to just compete. Like they're going to keep those Chinese EVs out of America because they would fucking kick our ass
What are you
with
talking
them.
about?
You know what I mean?
Talking about BYD?
Yeah, all of them, but BYD in particular,
Neo and like Lee and XPEV and all that.
They're going to get blocked from selling here. You know it's going to happen. So
yeah, well, they're not here now. So,
dude, I was in a Ford Mustang EV. That thing was kind of sick.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? What do you think about some of these EVs? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't really. I don't like drive. I mean, they're fun to drive because they're so fast and shit. But I don't know. I still like some fucking gas. But
yeah, I mean,
roll some coal, baby.
I agree with that, but I don't have a problem with EVs. The only issue I have with the EVs right now is like the range issue. You know.
Well, my issue with EVs is cars were already,
and it's also very polluted. Like to make the batteries and stuff. I mean, it's very
the batteries like the dirty little secret.
I mean, it's just as fucking polluting.
Well, here's the thing. My problem with EVs is just the fucking money. Is cars are already a depreciating, asset, but with EVs, you can't you get nothing on resale. So like when you go to trade cars in and do shit like that or sell a car private market, the batteries, until the batteries get a little bit cheaper, fuck them. Because once they're over 30, 40,000 miles, people don't want that shit because it's going to run out and you got to replace the battery.
A year ago, maybe not 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, dude, Tesla's Model Ys or Model 3s were double the price they are right now.
Yeah. I heard that
it's crazy. The amount of money people spent on them 2 years ago to a year ago, whatever. I mean, if they could have just held on a little bit longer, they could have got it for half off.
Yeah, well, I think they're trying to incentivize, or maybe the government's even subsidizing these EVs, right, for consumers to buy.
I think it's I don't know, man.
They do. They have all kind of subsidies for the actual car companies if they sell certain amounts and do this and that and the other, and if their miles per gallon, on average, are above a certain amount. So there's definitely incentives there, and even tax breaks for buying some of them, but. I just think they're fucking weak, dude, to be honest, because it's it's just another thing, it's it sucks because it really doesn't matter anyways, but it's just it's one more fucking technological piece of shit that's going to get built that you can't even fix it. You know what I mean? Everything's just made to fucking just be thrown away. You know what I mean?
The whole thing is we are transitioning into hybrid / EVs no matter what. It's happening.
Oh yeah, no matter what.
We're not going to be able to continue to do combustible gasoline, vehicles forever. It's not going to work. There's only a certain amount of fucking oil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In our lifetime, it's not going to be an issue, but and I could say that about a lot of things. I mean, these goddamn boomers, bro, they're fucking everything up for us. They just won't let go.
Here's the thing, too.
They don't want to let go. They don't want to quit. They don't want to retire.
Well, why do they have to make every EV car look like a fucking dildo? It's make the shit look cool. They make them the
Cybertruck looks badass.
Dildo. What are you
y'all seen that thing? I'm just kidding.
Dude, they make all of these things have all these smooth lines. It's why do you care about aerodynamics when you could build a dope ass looking EV and gas mileage doesn't matter? Who gives a fuck? Make it look like an old fucking 70s Barracuda or something and let it rip with the battery.
Dude, I saw a concept car out of Hyundai that looked like a sedan from the 80s.
Hyundai. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
That thing looked sick, right?
It did.
It's really sick is DeLorean's back, baby. They're making badass looking cars, man. I was just looking at them the other day.
But you're just not going to see with electric cars. You know what I like is when you see some person driving in like a 1991 car. You know what I mean? It's like,
I've already told you what my dream car is: a 1986, 87 black Porsche.
No, but I mean like a piece
911
of shit.
Turbo, baby.
No, but I mean like a bucket when somebody's driving in like a 92 like Buick Grand Lark and it's just piece of shit and it's just cruising and you're like, man, that guy.
Do you know I bought a 1984 Toyota Tercel wagon from Kelly Losi?
You told me about that because I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. It's got
You're like, I bought it
stripes on it.
It's a
nice,
Kelly Losi sold me a fucking
straight out of like
40-year-old car.
What's the blue book on that thing?
Dude, I don't know. I bought it for $3,500 from Kelly.
That sounds like too much.
No, it's sick, dude. It's only got 116,000 miles.
It's a vintage thing.
He sold it to me so he could buy his girlfriend a wedding ring. I was like, all right, dude, let's do it. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, look.
All right, so what else is going on in the news?
Well,
you see those pagers are blowing up Hezbollah's dicks off?
So I did look. After you told me about it, I did look into it a little bit.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
I figured you knew more about it, so I'd let you speak on it a little bit.
All right. Well, basically, I think what happened was, Hezbollah, ever since October 7th last year when Hamas attacked Israel.
Yes. When they flew
Hezbollah's been like
when they flew kites over the gate, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, right. So then Hezbollah's been launching rockets in
that's Hamas.
Israel.
That was Hamas, right? Not Hezbollah.
Well, they're all related.
Yeah, that was Hamas, but Hezbollah is the terrorist group in Lebanon.
Or Lebanon, yeah. I mean, there's the Houthis, the Hezbollah, and the Hamas. They all start with a fucking H or a JH or whatever you want.
Yeah, with a no.
They all eat hummus.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, basically. So anyway, so Hamas is another terrorist group in Lebanon, and then they started going to war with Israel around the same time as Hamas launched their attack, right? And then so fucking is the Israeli military put like a little bit of explosive into pagers.
Is that what they say happened? Like that is the statement?
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it.
Wait, who said that? Who is saying that the Israel? Who?
The media.
Which media?
The media?
All of them?
The media.
All of them. It's all over the place.
The Israeli government is doing this.
Yeah, it's a huge
story.
It's like Mossad or like the whatever, the IDF, whatever. But they put like a little bit of explosive in a pager, and then posed as like a shell company or something.
What
sold a bunch of
1986?
I know.
Like what?
But the reason they're using pagers is because I think the Israeli government
didn't even know they existed anymore. Honestly,
it was less trackable.
I think. Yeah, they were like hacking into cell phones. So they were like, let's use pagers because it's lo-fi. You get a call, then you call the number and whatever bullshit.
It's just like the wire.
Well, I know, but the wire was also 20 years ago. I mean,
but that was their reasoning.
What I'm getting at is I didn't even know they made pagers anymore. Like,
well, they do in like Lebanon. Anyway,
but they still have payphones over there too.
I think it was like a Korean company or a Taiwanese company that sold pagers, and somehow like the IDF intercepted them. Anyway, got it into Hezbollah pockets, and then they just like called the number or something, and then the pagers like beeped so they would get the person's attention, and they fucking exploded. And if the pager was like in their pocket, they fucking blew their dicks off.
Wait. So they
whatever.
Planted the pagers.
And it was like 3,000
They planted the pagers on.
Yeah, and it was like exactly. It was like 3,000.
Did they plant the pagers on
exploded at
other
the same time.
like innocent civilians, or did was this? No,
yeah. I mean,
hold on a second. Wait a minute. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if they did that, or were they doing self-suicide shit with pagers on themselves?
No. It was just how they were contacting each other. So they knew a network of Hezbollah was going to get these pagers. Now, 3,000 of them, I doubt. I'm sure some civilians got hit for sure. But Hezbollah,
definitely.
They knew that at least maybe a big portion of these people were going to be Hezbollah type motherfuckers.
I think I read there was like 12 deaths. but then there was like 1,000 injuries. It just called like it caused. They all exploded at the same time. So it caused fucking mayhem in like Beirut. You know, like the hospitals were just like overrun with like people who were like looking at the pager, and the shit fucking blew up in their face and like blinded them. You know.
So how many people died?
I heard 12. I heard 12 people died, but then like thousands of injuries. Yeah, lots of maims.
I would imagine there was a lot of injuries.
A lot of missing testicles.
Just fucking ball sacks getting blown all over Beirut, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. My one thought was this when I first heard the story. I wonder if they can just blow up anything with a lithium battery. So they made up the story about the explosive just to make you think, oh, okay, that's how they got it done. You know what I mean? Like they can probably blow up just about anything with a battery these days. But
I don't know. But it's kind of fucked up because like now, like the like the population in Lebanon is like all paranoid about all their electronics. Like they're like, oh fuck, is my cell phone gonna fucking blow up? Like just random people are thinking that like
something doesn't add up about this to me. I don't know why. Something if the media is saying it, whatever, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Just something is not adding up to me about it. I think there's a way.
Well, I just think
it goes way deeper than what you're hearing on the fucking news. That's all.
Well, here's the deal: if you're in Lebanon and your cell phone starts playing dreidel, 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 fucking
that's not going to be playing in Lebanon. That'd be Israel.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Dreidel. I made it out of clay.
Yeah. If your fucking cell phone just starts randomly playing Hava Nagila, you better launch that shit.
Get the fuck out of there.
Fucked up. It's so bad. Oh my god. I mean, well, that's crazy. I didn't look too deep into it. I wanted you to speak on it. My opinion on it is, I haven't done my own due diligence on it, and whatever the news says, I don't ever believe. So if the news is saying a certain thing, I don't necessarily trust it. There's probably something deeper behind it, and I'll look into it a little bit more and see what
I believe is probably deeper behind it is, like I said, maybe they can just blow up any of these pagers on a whim without putting anything in them. But because it looked like what happens when one of those lithium batteries kind of like overheats, like it'll just fucking explode, you know?
Maybe all the pagers were from like 1986 and they just blew up because like they're fucking shitty ass technology.
Yeah.
They're just 40-year-old technology.
That's like shit that happens in like Die Hard.
The capacitors all went bad, man.
That's like a Die Hard thing.
That's good.
Well, that sucks.
But yeah, man. So that was cool.
Fuck,
that was a cool story.
Freezing up on
it's
you
a cool story, but it's fucked up what's going on over there. I hate war. I hate all this shit because, look, people ask me all the time, where do you stand with with Palestine or fucking, Israelis? And I'm like, they're like, because you're Jewish. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm Jewish, but that's I'm not. I don't believe in religion. So if I don't believe in religion, how could I be Jewish? If you're considering me a Jew because of a bloodline, like a race, well, then you're ignorant. Where do I stand? I just don't like it at all. I don't. I mean, personally, I don't like it. I don't like war. I don't like.
Hey, shut up, Jew.
Okay. Sorry. But I mean, I'm serious. I mean, like people get it mixed up all the time. They're like, "But you're Jewish." I'm like, "Yeah, but really, I'm not because I don't believe in religion. So how could I be?" And they don't understand. People are so ignorant sometimes. They just don't.
Yeah.
Well, my stance on it is just like, I guess the one thing that's annoying to me about it is like America, no matter what, like, because they'll tell, they kind of been telling Israel, like, chill, you know what I mean? And they just kind of keep going forward with more and more shit, you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of America after 9/11. It's like going into Iraq and going in here, like it's like to clean up all our laundry in the Middle East, like.
Yep.
And it's like no matter what, they know we're gonna be there to fucking help their ass, no matter what happens. So it's like, it's kind of fucked up because they kind of have us hostage in a way by like, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want in the Middle East, and you guys are gonna be here because,
Right. They're like, hey, you guys need to. They're like, you guys need to really chill down with all the violence. And then they're like, by the way, do you want to buy our latest cruise missile that we have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
dude,
for sure.
It's all fucked up, dude. It's all fucked up.
It's all capitalism,
dude. When it comes to conflict and war, there's so much money to be made. Like this all fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
This is Bloods and Crips, bro. I'm telling you, it is. It doesn't matter.
Is military weapons like our biggest fucking like sector of the economy? I mean, like oil and gas.
We have a huge
military weaponry.
Like the military industrial complex. The military industrial complex.
It's like,
look, one fucking missile.
Don't they sell to the government?
One missile costs like $1 million. One missile.
I know, but how does it work? That. Is it like Raytheon or whatever?
Raytheon, Lockheed Martin.
I know, but do they sell it to the government? They sell
at a huge markup. Our
tax dollars go to buy fucking missiles, right?
And that stimmy.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to get
stimmy money too. I guarantee.
Fuck that.
Stimmy money went to them.
You know.
And remember this: we don't cover our debt, so everything we buy is tax money plus borrowed money. You know what I mean? So it's like it's double duty on that.
Honestly, I don't even know why we pay taxes anymore. The amount of money they print, like it's ridiculous. It's like just keep printing. Like I don't.
But yeah, man. I mean, wouldn't that be so sweet to be able to sell the government fucking missiles and bombs and shit? I mean, it's just money.
And they do it so like under the table. They have to like ship it through different countries and like stuff like that to get it over there. I mean, it's all shady shit, dude. It's like a shadow fleet. It's like
and then that's the public company. So we kind of, and then there's so many private contractors that do so much business that you don't even know unless you're in the business.
Apparently the State Department, or I guess it wouldn't be the State Department, the Department of Defense. Like, I remember watching some Jon Stewart interview where like this woman who was a representative said that they don't even know how much money they're spending or where the money's going. It's just fucking flowing out the door, and they don't even like, they're not even accountable. Like the State Department or the Defense Department is not even like accountable for like all.
There's no audit. There's no audit.
There's two things you have to think about. So the government is responsible for fiscal policy. That is like the budgeting and where we spend our money. But then you have the Federal Reserve, which is not tied to any government entity or decision. Well, it is, but it is. Anyways, that's monetary policy. They monitor unemployment and inflation. And that's exactly what their goal is to do by raising interest rates if things get whatever. That
just print money.
But that's also the government's fault too. That falls within fiscal policy. I'm telling you, it's all one big monopoly game, dude.
Well, it's just most people don't understand the very first step of money, which is the federal government gives it to the banks lend it out, and then they buy treasuries from the U.S. government, which means the government's paying interest on all the money that it spends.
And it's not just
because it's their money.
Other countries too that buy these.
Well, of course, but I'm just saying most people don't even understand that basic.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fucking convoluted though.
Well, bonds are the bond game is very confusing thing.
It's like, hey, the government, every dollar the government has out there is borrowed from. They borrowed it,
right? But they could just still keep printing because guess what? The United States dollar is the global currency.
Yeah, our government borrowed the dollar from a bank that got it from the Federal Reserve at a different interest rate. So it's like there's multiple hands of interest before we're seeing the dollars. Like it's crazy.
Just to take a step back real quick, 1 second. The fact, look, zero interest rates. Like here's what happened, and I don't know if we talked about this in the last one, but in 2007, 2008, when they literally lowered interest rates to basically zero for almost 10 years, a decade. Till 2019, they started raising again. Then they had the fucking the 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 tantrum, the taper tantrum, or whatever the hell they called it when Bernanke was the Fed of the goddamn Fed. And what that has caused, because interest rates over time, over like a 50, 60, 70-year span, have been sitting at an average of 7%. We're at 5.5. Well, now we're at like what, 5? Because they cut yesterday. So we have become addicted. The US
cheap money.
And addicted. The age of easy money, and now the age of easy money is over. We're never going back to zero. I mean, it would take like a serious World War kind of 3 incident to really do that. They're never going to take it back down to zero again. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, look what happened with Japan a month and a half ago with the Japanese yen carry trade. Do you know what I'm talking about? When the stock market crashed, the Nasdaq 7% in one day, biggest drop since COVID, because of what Japan did, and it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, man.
It's all connected. Where's Tua? Because he needs to hear this. Well, he knows about it. Wait, he's not on. He's gone. What the hell?
Woke disappeared.
Dude.
The wokeness got him, bro. Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Well, okay, I'll explain it to you real quick. I'm going to text him real quick. Be like, where the hell did you go?
Yep.
But anyway,
I know, and my internet's been fucking sucking.
It's been all right. It's been all right so far. No, the Japanese yen carry trade. So, do you know what I'm talking about, Cheeseburger?
Japanese terror trade?
The Japanese yen carry trade. On August 5th, a Monday, a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Everybody woke up to a bloodbath in all markets globally, basically. I mean, the Nasdaq was down 7% one day, bro. I mean, that's the kind of shit that we saw when COVID happened. Do you understand what happened?
No, what happened?
So, Japan is the 4th largest economy in the world. They have been. You ever heard the whole thing about the lost decade, or actually the lost decades at this point with Japan? Do you know? In
Japan? Well, yeah. Then their market crashed like in the 80s,
the late
80s, 90s. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It was basically like their version of the .com bubble. But ever since then, they've kept for 30 years. They've kept interest rates at basically zero. Right. So what
after that? Oh, because they had
for 30 years. Dude. So for 30 years, they're like basically zero interest rate. So what happened? Investors, United States, I'm talking big institutions. These aren't like little retail traders like me or anything like that.
Yeah.
But big money said, well, fuck, why are we going to go in with the US dollar? Especially with high interest rates, it doesn't make sense. So what do? They pile into the yen, zero interest rates. Or Japanese bonds, whatever. Well, on August 1st or something like that, the Bank of Japan decided to raise rates for the first time in 30 years by only 0.25%, which is very small.
Yeah. Right.
But that was like on a Wednesday. I saw this happening. TooWoke saw this happening. So what did we do? We didn't short our markets. We bought bond option contracts, and we shorted the regional banks.
I always know.
Well, yeah, now I can hear it. There you go. Ah, there he is. There he is, bro. Man, see, TooWoke, dude, you just missed TooWoke. He's probably coming back in a minute, but he I guess maybe the baby was crying or something. But man, all right, so J-Prez, man, welcome to the Bag Brigade podcast, aka which used to be the Tiz Talk podcast. To all my old listeners, this is my boy Adam, aka we call him Cheeseburger. Adam,
hey, what's up, dude?
This is J-Prez, aka El Presidente.
Nice to meet you, man.
What's poppin'?
I'm Adam, but they call me Cheeseburger.
Why they call Cheeseburger?
Right. So yeah, no, Cheeseburger. I met J-Prez like few years back through my Discord channel, and I think it was through Andrea. Yeah, Andrea. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, so like, you know, he's been in my Discord. We've been like trading and stuff with, you know, the group and for a couple years now, and you know, I make music, and he's a fucking amazing artist, bro, as far as like
cool, man,
producing and just like rapping. We'll have to play one of your jams on here before the end.
And you live in New York?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay, cool. I might be moving to Bed-Stuy in the spring.
Bed-Stuy is lit, bro. What part?
I don't know, near like the I'm looking at like the Nostrand stop. I don't know. I just know the subway stops.
Yeah, I ain't got over there. You wanna if you over there though, you wanna hang out like Crown Heights. Crown Heights isn't too far from that.
Yeah. Just somewhere on the AC line, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive out there though, bro. Like shit, dude.
Yeah, I know.
If you got it, like honestly, why not? Like, I mean,
no, I hear that. I love New York. I've been there many times. It's just like,
what part of Brooklyn are you in?
I'm in East New York.
East New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like Bed-Stuy is like more inward towards like the city and shit. East New York.
Yeah.
Queens.
I saw that they put up that new big fucking crazy tower, like residential tower in Brooklyn, right there above that bank or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's like huge. I don't know the name of it, dude. It's like the tallest building in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, anyways, it's like bronze color. I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
Oh, you talk about that
big ass residential tower. It's on top of a bank.
Is that in Brooklyn or is that in the city?
It's not in Manhattan. I know that for sure. It's definitely.
Is it? In Trump Tower?
It could be in Queens. No, I'm pretty sure it's in Brooklyn. I don't know. Regardless. I'm sure J-Prez over here is a little. Are you still holding them Nvidias?
Nah, I sold them shit, bro. I'm pissed because I should just sold. I got a problem, bro. Like,
so do I. I should have sold too. Right when I got, I should have sold. I should have sold. I was up, but like I did. I did. Guess what I did? I scaled in.
Yeah, as usual.
but my cost basis is pretty low. So if it has any run in the morning, I mean, I can at least maybe get out for green. Otherwise, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
sometimes I win, sometimes I do. No, so Cheeseburger, I put out like alerts, you know, like when I'm getting into a trade. And he'll follow some of mine, and some of them work out great. Today, actually, it worked. We just didn't. We just didn't fucking sell in time.
Yeah.
And so then it went back down, and then it just chopped around. But
man, that shit's too stressful, dude. I just fucking put money in the S&P, and I just you know, forget.
Like 90% of this shit is just discipline and selling that shit when it makes sense. Like
it really is.
The first time I missed the entry on the first play, and that shit went up to like 60s, 0.70 something.
Yeah, because I got in for like $40 or some shit like that, and it went up to like 60 or 70. And you're like, damn it! You text me, man, I missed that Nvidia. I was like, it might come back down. But when it came back down, it just chopped.
Yeah, but it ran back up. Like I got in and I had a chance to sell that shit and just like take profit. And I was like, and I'd say like, I should just sell 2 of these shits and leave one, like just in case. But I was just being greedy and shit. Like,
I know, dude. I did the same thing.
That's the problem.
I could have walked away easily with an easy like $300, you know, easily. Yeah. But I didn't do it. And now I'm holding overnight, and I scaled. So we'll see. That's one thing I don't like doing. Hey, I'll tell you what though. You know what? That's hurt me a lot, but it's actually actually made me a lot of money in certain cases. Cheeseburger has no idea what the fuck we're talking about right now. He doesn't know.
I mean, I get it. I just don't watch them. I just don't follow the markets, you know, like you guys.
Well, the good thing is like you don't. If you're part of Bag Brigade and you're VIP, bro, like as long as you have the alerts like signaled to your phone, like because we're alerted.
I know, but that's too time consuming, dude.
What do you mean?
It's
You
too
get on
much.
your fucking phone and push a button or two.
I know,
you're
but
in
I like to.
time consuming. I mean,
it's just like it takes too much of my thought.
I'm the one sitting here looking at charts all day, bro, making these alerts. I mean, if you're out and about getting an alert, and you bing, you just hit it, and you go like, anyways, bro.
Yeah, you're more like an investor, then, right? You're not really a trader. You just invest in shit.
I mean, I just know that like I need some money when I retire, so I'm gonna buy the S&P, and then hopefully in 40 years, 30 years, or whatever, it'll be
like one.
It'll be good enough to retire with.
In the long run, it goes up. There are those.
You think the market? Or you think the S&P is going to keep going up? The market's going to keep going up. I mean, we're like,
till when we're what? Till when we're like.
When we're like 75.
Yeah, the market's gonna continue to go up, but you're gonna have these years or these moments that we're actually dealing with currently.
When there's like a correction, right? Like a 20% correction in the market.
Well, I would say we're probably gonna see more in the correction here. It's coming. I mean, I called it. I said, okay, if they cut rates, I say we're gonna see a mini rally. Okay, they're gonna rally off it. And, it could take until the election for it to really set in. But when it does, when the 10-year yield, the 10-year bond yield and the 2-year yield, like it's called the 10/2, it's been uninverted under the zero line. I can share my screen, but I will in a second. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. This will make the most sense. I have to share my screen to show you this. This will make more sense. I know that you fucking heard me talk about this shit so many times.
Criteria for recession.
All right, TooWoke's back. TooWoke, we got old J-Prez in here, man, from the Discord.
Oh, what up, Presidente? What's going on, man?
Yeah. No, I was introduced to Cheeseburger and them, and we started talking. I'm sharing my screen now real quick. I wanted to explain. Well, I was explaining to Cheeseburger about the Japanese yen trade, and then J popped in. So I will get back to that. But we were just talking about like with these rate cuts and what the market's doing, and I called a mini rally, but I do believe that the crash or the cratering is imminent. Just is a matter of time. I don't know when, but here is what I know.
But you just like Chicken Little, like the sky's falling.
Pay attention. And look at what I'm showing.
All right. I see it.
Okay, so this is the 10-2 yield curve. Okay, it's a 10. So this is a recession indicator. They've been using it for years. Look, when it comes underneath the zero line, it means that it is inverted. This is in the 70s and 80s, and this is when like Paul Volcker was doing shit, right? So any of these like grayish, whatever, pinkish things, that's a recession. So look, every time this thing uninverts, you get a recession, right? Right? 1990, recession. .com bubble. Once it uninverted, recession. 2008 financial crisis. Once it uninverted, recession. We had a mini one in COVID. We had a mini recession. This is the longest we've ever been inverted. Ever. And so what I'm getting at with it, wait, why can't I check? So, and I'm gonna match this with what happens when the Fed cuts rates. I didn't go all the way back, but like, okay, Feds rose, they basically paused, and then they cut. Same timing as the yield curve, uninverted, as we are uninverting now. What happened? Recession. Same thing in 08. Flattened out, they rose, they paused, they cut, the yield curve uninverted, recession. Basically, same thing happened in COVID. It was just like, that was a crazy, weird event. You know what I mean? But look, same thing. And guess what? Yesterday, they cut, right? So last thing, I'm just going to show you how the market reacts. And this is just two examples. So when they cut here and the yield curve uninverted, like somewhere around this area, this is the .com bubble. You're talking about a 50% drop in the S&P 500 within like a 2-year period. Then comes back up all the way to exactly where basically it topped out at like 8 years prior. The yield curve uninverts and the Feds cut rates, and we dropped 58% in about a year and a half, like in a year and a half period. So look, history I don't care. And these are all lined up. I mean, the yield curve right now, here it is. Look, this is it currently. Like, let me go back in time. Look, it is uninverting. Look, I'm just telling you. I mean, this is hard landing shit. This isn't soft landing, whatever the fuck. I don't even know what that means. And I don't even know what the fucking shit no landing means. The plan's got to land at some point. But anyways, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like, because it's historically proven it's very rare that doesn't happen. Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. But it's coming. I bet you it starts to really get the cratering starts to come, either around the election or after, in my opinion.
Can you buy S&P puts 2 years out?
Yeah, me and TooWoke looked at this yesterday. But the thing is I don't like buying puts. Like, I hate buying SPY options that far out. I just don't like. I just don't like. I like doing what Justice Success would do. Now, you saw him get fucked in 2023.
I'm not saying Jess, bro.
Well, no, I'm telling you, Jess is one of the smartest ones in the room. I'm telling you, he sees things the way I do. I just finally stopped. But look, here's the deal. In 2022, Jess killed it because what he was doing was buying like 3 week out, way out of the money puts on SPY for like 50 cents, buying like 100 of them. And then they would skyrocket. He'd sell, and then he would let it kind of rally, do the same shit over and over and over again. I mean, he killed it. I was doing it with him. Now, he made a lot more than me, but like, look, Jess used to work at JP Morgan. I mean, the dude is very smart. Now, 2023, I was starting to question him, and he actually took a break for a little bit. If you haven't noticed, he got burned.
Yeah, he was getting wrecked, bro.
Because he kept buying SPY puts. I did too. I
don't even think it's because he's like a bad trader or anything. I think bro was just like dead set on it being like a fucking, like, just on shit tanking. And I'm like, bro, this shit ain't tanking.
I think it's going to take a little while because I think what's going to happen here is like, I think it's pretty obvious. They're pretty much signaling that like they're going to keep cutting rates. You know what I mean? Until we see either success in that avenue, whatever that looks like for them, or we see inflation rear its head again. Now, if that happens, it could put a damper on their rate cuts. But I think in the meantime, you're going to see real estate taking off again. I think the prices of hard goods, hard assets are going to go fucking crazy once more, especially if they do, once we get to like a full 1.5% like down, which could easily be by the end of the year, like people are going to start jumping into home sales again. And that's going to cause another rally and another little bubble. And then after that, I could see things, getting rocky. But I think we're at least 6 months to a year from seeing that kind of stuff starting to happen.
That's too hard to call. Who knows? It's very hard. It's like calling the top and the bottom. I don't know.
But just a real estate bubble is inevitable. And that
this is not a real estate bubble. This is an everything bubble.
Yeah, my boy is like in real estate heavy. Like he has a whole like startup and shit. He does cash deals and all of that shit. But he's been calling a crash for like the past, I don't say since I met him. I'm not even gonna lie.
Anybody calling for a residential real estate crash over the last couple of years has like missed the point because it's there's not enough inventory. House price is going to crash. Like you have to have a huge swing. You just
keep disappearing from your camera. I don't know what happened. You fade in, fade out.
Yeah, he's calling it. He has like other people with a little more experience than him calling that shit, and it's to the point where they don't even want to get in on certain deals because they just think shit's going to crash.
Well,
that's crazy.
Here's my thesis. As most of you guys know, I mean, look, we've printed more money in the past 5 years than ever in the history of printing money. Okay, the GDP to debt ratio is just out of control. The debt ceiling. Every time we reach the debt ceiling, what do? They raise it. Okay, we have geopolitical tensions off the woozah right now between Ukraine and Russia. You got the whole thing in the Israel and the Mideast, and then you got China in Taiwan situation, you got AI, this AI bubble. Like, I mean, look what happened in the .com bubble. I mean, look, everybody got super hyped. It was everybody bought in, and then it went to shit. But guess what? The internet is still here. I'm not saying AI is going anywhere, but some of these companies, like, they're not all. I don't know, and it goes further than that. I mean, the whole market is pumped on. Got really pumped on stimulus money. One, now 2022 kind of erased a little bit of that, but now you got consumer credit card debt at all-time highs. You have the commercial real estate office market literally defaulting. Now, with these 50 basis point cuts, I mean, that could help a little bit, but it's crazy. I mean, you're seeing office buildings across the country go for like 90% off what they were bought for 5 years ago. It's wild shit. And guess what? When they default, and if someone doesn't buy the fucking building, the banks have to hold the asset. What does a bank do with an empty building? I still have not been able to answer that question. I don't fucking know.
Sell to China.
I think, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think the main message we're getting from the people in power right now are just like, they're going to try to keep this party going by any means necessary. So I think to bet against it in the next 6 months to 12 months is foolish, I think.
What happens when all the boomers die? Is the market just going to die along with them, or what?
Well, they're going to stop. They're going to
go through the roof.
They're going to stop cutting their yards. That's for sure.
Yeah, the next generation.
But is the market just going to fucking crash?
No, here's the thing. What me and TooWoke have with boomers, okay? And I'm not talking about mushrooms, okay? I'm talking about like the boomer generation, because I like the other boomers a lot. The boomers won't let go of their job positions or their CEO positions. Like, they're not quitting, like they're not retiring, and it's causing a huge problem for our generation. And it's because, in my opinion, it's greed, and greed is one, and the other thing is that it's like an identity crisis to these people when they retire. Exactly. What are they? I don't know, but they won't quit.
Taylor, this is for you, Taylor.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, dude, is that penis envy?
I think it is, right?
I mean, penis envy is the best shrooms out there, dude.
Dude, I got a whole fucking
Talente. Yeah, no, I just went through like a whole ounce to myself in like a week. It's crazy. This is fucking nuts. They're so good, bro. I mean, they're so good. These are the best. I'm telling you, TooWoke knows. They're so good.
Yeah. But anyway, so when the boomers die off,
I don't know.
Eventually, they're going to die.
A big shift of wealth is going to happen. Obviously, it's
going to shift to our generation, or it's just going to keep going.
No, it's going to go down the lineage of like the families of whatever. Like, that wealth is now going to shift, and they're going to start being like, the head honchos or whatever the fuck. But also a big shift of wealth happens during these market craterings as well. I mean, it's true. I mean, like the stock market is like a zero-sum game. You make money, somebody's losing money. It's not like we're adding we're adding a product to our society that's making our society, or our like something better. It's just one wins, one loses. That's how it goes. The only thing that I can say about it is like, okay, if it's a good company that you want to invest in, I'm using Tesla as an example, that you believe in it and you put your money in it to help them grow and they have more capital to expand and do what they do. I mean, that is one thing. But when you're trading, no, it's a zero-sum game. It doesn't add any value to the goddamn GDP or anything, because somebody's losing it on the other end.
Wait, can I ask a dumb question real quick?
Sure. I love dumb questions.
When you buy a share of a company, right? Where does that money go? Like,
to the company.
Like, does it go to the company?
Yes.
It goes to the company. So they're just like generating wealth
Yeah, that's how their market cap is calculated.
Well, no. So I mean, so you have a pool of shares, and then the company sells those shares, and then they hold on to a certain amount of shares. So they're going to sit there, and sometimes the money's going to go to them after a year. You know, in the beginning they have all the shares, and then they do a public offering, and then those shares get spread out.
Well, that's what I'm talking about after all that, TooWoke. I'm talking about like
no, but when you buy. Yeah, when you buy they sell. Okay, so it's the company that holds on to the shares, and they sell them to you, and that money so that money goes into the pockets of whoever.
It allows them to grow.
Exactly. So the company, they get to keep however many shares they're going to keep, and then as everyone's trading that stock, even if they never sell one, the value of all their shares is going to be worth way more if people are into it. You know what I mean? So they're going to try it. And that's why a lot of companies, like when everything's going so good, but growth is not really there, like companies just start buying back their own shares. So they'll be like, all right, we're going to start buying our company from you guys again. And then that'll run the price up even more, you know?
TooWoke's like a ghost. He just keeps reappearing and disappearing from the camera. Like, it's so funny. But yeah, no, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, but the whole point I'm saying is like, you know, trading or whatever, you know, that adds no value to the economy. You win, someone loses. You lose, someone's winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like
But I mean, stocks don't have to be that way. Like, I mean, somebody sells.
I'm talking about options.
Yeah, trading. Yeah. Sure. So yeah, I mean, it's just an interest. You know, it's the end all be all though for 401ks and the way that our world is set up, you know, for people's retirements and pensions and all this shit.
Yeah. So and that's the boomers' faults. It's the boomers' faults.
And then the derivative market on a lot of these things is bigger than the actual product itself. So like people just start trading shit like in levels that are just like, crazy.
Options or
like more silver gets traded.
Futures, like they're all derivatives of something that's already, it's a bet on top of another bet. That's what it is.
Like every day, like 50 times the amount of silver, or basically at any given time, like 50 times the amount of silver that even exists on the planet is being traded.
Right.
You know what I mean? Through like markets.
Yeah. What do you guys think of crypto? I haven't heard y'all talk about crypto.
Fuck crypto, bro.
I mean, I'll let Jay go.
Crypto sucks.
I'll let Jay go first.
It doesn't suck, but it sucks at the same time because it's so fucking scammy, bro.
Yes, like scammy.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I made like 2 or 3 bands in like 1 hour.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you can do it like that.
I mean, I got some Bitcoin that I'm holding on to.
See, the thing is, Bitcoin's fine. Bitcoin's fine. Ethereum, fine.
It's the other shit,
all the scammy bullshit.
The meme coins and all that shit.
But do you think Bitcoin's going to go like 6 figures or what?
I mean,
it'll probably get 6 figures, bro. I don't know when, but I think
Bitcoin will go to 100,000 eventually.
I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. People are so pumped about it that it'll happen, and I think as soon as it hits that, it'll probably fucking have them.
So I should sell mine at 99,000.
Oh, if it hits 98, sell that bitch.
I got 12 Ethereum at $1,500. Okay.
Like.
And I'm holding those. I've had those for a while, and I'm not doing anything with them.
Have you heard of Solana?
Yeah.
No.
So Solana's like the next like big thing up after like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
But, Solana. Yeah.
Every time this shit gets like $200, it drops. So it's 200 is like the hard resistance points for this shit. So every time it's 200, like. It'll just drop in, not like a wicked drop, but it'll drop back to like 190, chop.
That's technical analysis 101 for you, Cheeseburger. When you're looking at a chart and it keeps testing the same level and it keeps projecting. I mean,
it's like resistance or whatever.
Yeah, resistance or that's basically supply. Like people are like, all right, we're taking profits here.
It's like manipulation at this point though, because
it's all the whole goddamn market's manipulated. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Oh my goodness. The whole market's manipulated. It is.
Solana's like a casino because they have all the meme coins on that shit. So, but they just listed WIF on fucking, what was that, Coinbase, I think?
Listed what?
An Indian casino.
Yeah.
What did they list?
Whip is a meme coin. It's like one of the big meme coins from like.
I just don't. Okay, here's the deal, and this is look. I don't get it. Like, okay, I get the Bitcoin and I get Ethereum and some of these other names like Ripple or like XLM or like Solana, whatever, but or ADA. But what the fuck? Like some of these coins, it's like. There's thousands of them, and it's like I know. I don't even understand how they've allowed it to continue to go on. It's crypto, crazy. Bro. I know it's crypto. It's crazy. People who buy into these like new, like it's insane. 2001 and 2002 was so bad.
Like I still have some shit on like my wallet, so I'm just like, I kind of want to just to make some extra bread. I kind of want to just like play in the market like these next few days. But at the same time, I know how fucking scammy that shit is. And it's like, bro, I don't want to put this money in and just lose it because somebody decides to rub a fucking coin.
Yeah, and plus it's a 24-hour market. Like, I just don't like it. I prefer, my long-term stock holdings. I prefer trading options. And actually, these days, I honestly prefer trading futures more than anything, except right now I'm getting hit pretty hard on some of my positions. But the thing about futures is you don't have to worry about time decay. And the thing about futures you have to worry about is you can lose more than you put in. Options, time decay, but you can only lose what you put in, right? When you're buying options, at least.
Yeah.
It's craziness, but I wanted to. We can stay on crypto for a second. I wanted to finish the Japanese yen trade thing, telling Cheeseburger about it, but crypto, dude. Look, as an owner of a server with hundreds of people in it, I get hit up, dude, I don't even know how many times a day by I don't even know, like trying to pitch me on some shit, or they'll come in the server and they'll be like, and I have it all auto modded where it immediately like deletes the message, and and I talk shit to these people too. Like, I'm like, what the fuck you think you're doing? Yada yada yada. But like, there's always some scam, and Forex is really bad too. I've never really been into Forex, but Forex and crypto are just very, very scammy. And I get hit up with it every day. Now, I have actually been hit up by some people that are legit, like the Algo, the QuantBot, the old Astrobot, J-Prez. You know what I'm talking about, with the 3 and 5 minute or the 5 minute things that we got going on in the server.
Yeah, I like those. Those are pretty clutch.
Yeah, so they've been doing a lot of work, and they just rolled out 3.0, and they're now they're about to do futures, and they're gonna do swing alerts instead of just like scalp alerts and stuff like that.
The swings be like 15-minute trades and shit.
What?
The swings are like 15.
Yeah, I mean swing trades, like holding an option over multiple days or multiple weeks or whatever. That's a swing. A day trade is a day trade. You open and close it in the same day. A swing would be opening it and closing it the day after or whenever the fuck. That's a swing. I am more of a swing trader typically. I really only do day trades if I see a good setup, and I do it for the fucking community because there's not a lot of alerts going out these days, and if I don't do it, I'm gonna lose people. So, anyways, but yeah, no. Look, real quick, back to the Japanese yen carry trade. Cheeseburger, I want to explain this to you real quick.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Because I don't even know.
Because I might have to jump off in like 10.
Okay. And J-Prez, I don't even know. I mean, I've explained it on this server, but I mean, you remember what happened on August 5th when the NASDAQ went down 7% because of the yen thing. Everything, it was Black Monday was what they called it. And I was asking Adam or Cheeseburger if he actually knew anything about like what happened. And I know TooWoke, I know you know. Do you
wait, they raised the rates, right?
Do you understand? But Prez, do you understand exactly what happened with all that? Do you get why all that happened?
I know Japan has some shit going on over there where they was like, let's say, like in a recession right now.
Well, right. I'll say exactly what I was telling, and TooWoke, you could step in, but basically, Japan has been stagnant as far as their economy for like 30 years. I mean, they called it the lost decade, but it's like the lost decades too, Oak. And they've kept their interest rates basically at zero since like 1989. Okay. So interest rates at zero. Okay. We did that for a while, but they've done
They had negative. They had negative.
Right. And for 30 years. So,
yeah. What's wrong with that?
But they're the fourth largest economy in the world.
Yeah,
so,
what's wrong with that?
Well, so hear me out. So investors, big investors, I'm not talking about people like us or even some hedge funds. I'm talking about like big institutions. Instead of using the US dollar with a 5%, fucking 5.5% interest rate on it, or even before the rates went up, they were just going to the yen because it was at zero or negative interest rates, and then taking the yen and then going and buying into whatever they wanted to. For years, they were decades. They did this, decades. Okay, trillions of dollars. Well, I think it was Wednesday, August 1st. The Bank of Japan came out and said they were going to raise rates by 0.25, 25 basis points. We just cut 50. Okay, so that happened. There wasn't an immediate reaction, but I sure as hell knew something was coming. Too Woke knew. That's why we bought the TLT calls and the KRE, the regional bank puts. And boom, Monday came, and I swear all those contracts were up like 4,000% because the bonds ripped and the regional bank, everything else dropped. So it's not like we shorted SPY, but we played it a different angle. I did not know it was going to do that. That's the craziest thing, that that's how connected and globalized we are. That Japan raised by 0.25, okay, after 30 years. And if you think about it, when you have trillions of dollars in the yen and they do that, now you're at a loss. So you got institutions basically capitulate panic selling, which caused another sort of capitulation panic selling in global markets, especially here in the United States. That's what happened.
You have a fucking short, squeeze basically on the yen. It wasn't too bad, but I don't think I think that those prices aren't going to be seen again. And I think that the yen is probably a really good 3-year investment.
I'm glad you brought that up. We just got breaking news. The
yen will be a good investment for the next 2 years at least.
Japan, this just was released. Japan inflation rate rose to 10-month peak. The annual inflation rate in Japan rose to 3.0 in August 2024 from 2.8 in the prior 3 months, pointing to the highest level since October 2023. Meanwhile, the core inflation rate hit a 6-month top of 2.8. This just came out, by the way, 2.8% in August.
I'm going to buy some yen.
Accelerating the fourth month and aligning with market forecasts. Now, midnight Eastern tonight, which is not too far away. Guess what's happening? The Bank of Japan is making their rate decision. And literally, like, we're talking in about an hour. Okay, so if they raise again, 0.25, whatever, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of turmoil in the market. That will definitely kill the NVIDIA calls, but it will definitely bring back the TLT calls for sure. But I'm just saying, I mean, if they do anything,
they said pretty much what I'm hearing is they're not going to do anything till December. But that inflation report is interesting, and overall bullish on that yen, man, for sure. It's going to keep popping.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they raise, I mean, shit, dude. So that's the whole Japanese yen carry trade thing. That was some breaking news. In about an hour, we're really going to find out. I mean, the futures market's probably going to go crazy in about an hour.
How do you invest in the yen? Do you just like buy that shit?
No, you can do. It's the easiest way to do it is through futures. The /6J is the ticker for it. But if you're not familiar with futures, I mean, dude, I'll get you on them. I paper trade them first.
I'm not trying to lose money like that, bro.
No, I mean, practice though. Paper trade with them. Like, understand how it works, and then when you have that paper, you'll understand how to do it. That's what I mean. Like, I paper traded the shit out of futures for a while because I just didn't fully understand it, but now I totally get it. I mean, futures are kind of crazy. I mean, you can trade futures on corn or cotton. You can trade it on bonds. You can trade it on indices. You can trade it on currencies. I mean, you can trade futures on everything. And farmers started the futures game back in the day because they were what a futures contract basically started and represented was a farmer was able to say, shit. Well, prices right now, it's we're growing corn, and corn, prices tend to go up in October. Let me lock in a futures contract for October at this price, guaranteed. And that's basically what futures contracts are. Now you have speculators like us that come in and just trade the contracts. But I know someone in the Discord server that traded during Halloween years ago, pumpkin futures. I don't even know what the ticker for that is. Okay. And he let the contract expired. So what happened? They delivered a fucking truckload of pumpkins to his house. It's called a deliverable. Some brokerages don't allow, like TD Ameritrade or Schwab, they won't do it. But this kid or this guy had a 18-wheeler full of pumpkins pull up to his house because he had to pay for it on that futures contract.
Futures work like regular charts and shit.
What's that?
Do you chart futures the same you would like regular stocks? Because the yen is about to break. Like I might have broke that shit already.
Well, I need to look at it, but it's probably moving because of that inflation data that just came out. But anyways, that was the whole.
Basically, after that carry trade, it went to some highs like 7-1, and it just broke through it yesterday. And then it came back down, but it's a couple days ago, at least, it broke through pretty hefty, actually, and then it came back down. But you're going to see a lot of volatility in that yen.
It's actually coming down a little bit right now. I'm looking at it right now.
That shit was higher during COVID times. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, dude, because we what did we do? We lowered we raised our rate, so it made the dollar stronger, which then in turn made the yen weaker, and so the yen's been like fighting for its life, bro, just getting killed. I mean, when you see a drop like that on a currency in like a year, 2-3 years time, like you can see over the last few years, like it just has been fucking just beat to shit. And no matter what they do, man, they can raise it for like a week or two and then it'll just fucking crater again. But this time's different because there's actually real rates changing at huge, at giant fucking margins. Because you go from 0 to 0.25
here's the daily,
and then you do another one. Like,
here's the daily on the 6J. All right. So look. So this thing's been coming down it's been getting wrecked. I mean, here it peaked. What was this in 2023? Not peaked, but that was the most recent peak. And this thing came down so low, and then, here's where was August 5th? Right here. This is when they did the Japanese yen carry trade. That's the 200-day moving average. So it's holding the 200-day moving average, and it's at the 38.2 fib level. But when it comes to these kind of things, it doesn't really matter because if they raise rates, I mean, this shit goes out the window, and this thing flies to the moon. But yeah, that's a daily look at it. If you want to get a closer look on after that inflation data just came out, I mean, it is sort of coming down right now.
Currently. I think it's way underbought right now because I think that move happened so abruptly. It's freaking people out, but it's a diamond in the rough, or not a diamond in the rough, but it's right there in front of everybody to see that on a grand scale, it really hasn't changed that much percentage wise in the last 6 months to a year, based on what actually changed, which is pretty drastic,
So this is 6 months. I mean, it's stayed within a pretty tight range.
And look, nobody expected a 0.5. No one expected a 0.5
I
when
did.
the carry trade. Not when the carry trade happened. Everyone was like, "Are we going to have one, or is it a 0.25?"
I personally, like I told you, I said nothing going to surprise me. I said they could do 0.25, 0.5. They could keep it.
No, I know that, but I'm talking about the market was pricing in a 0.25 at like that's what people were pricing in. So this thing is underbought right now, dude. It's gonna fucking leap, and it could.
I mean, I'm probably gonna get into it. I just need to get some margin back from fucking the UB. But anyway, yeah, the ES futures, the S&P, they're down a little bit right now, 0.2%. But anyways, that was your last. Did Adam leave? He left. Yeah, he said he had to go or some shit. So
the cool thing, Jay, is that on futures though, dude, like not all of them are really. Some of them are very scary. Some of them are really cheap. Like some of them, like something will have to move quite a bit for you to like actually lose or make any real money on it. So like you can get your feet wet with certain commodities and not take big risks. Like some of them will move like, you know, $500 if the thing moves like a couple dollars basically. So it's like, you know, it's pretty safe at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the options for now.
The thing is like most futures, like let's just use the ES, the S&P 500, not the micro, not the MES, the ES. It
requires more money for your account.
One contract cost about $20,000 in margin to put.
Grand for one contract is crazy, bro.
Right, but the micros. The micro ES is $2,000 in collateral or margin, which is still a lot. But you gotta understand the way futures move. They move by ticks. So like some, and they're all priced differently. So some, did we just lose 202? Jesus, everybody's just popping off this bitch today. I guess it'll come back. But anyways, yeah. I mean, futures are just it's wild, dude. It's a whole different thing, but it moves in ticks. So like when I mean tick is like each move, like not just like 1 minute candle. It's like each price tick, and each different futures has a different amount. Like the higher the margin, like the more like one tick will gain you. So like there's been times where I got like 2 contracts of gasoline futures, which is $6,000 for each contracted margin, and it went, and I bet on it when it going up, and it went up. I mean, every single tick, it was like that's 2 contracts, and each tick was worth like $50. So, and this thing ticked up like 100 ticks. It's craziness, but you can also lose a lot if it goes the other way. You see what I'm saying? You can get margin call real quick.
You gotta cash out.
You have to have a bankroll to really trade futures, and I don't even play, like I only play futures in my long-term account. And I've been building my long-term account since I was 16. So I have a lot of like, maybe it's not a lot of cash, but they can use my stocks as collateral, as leverage, right? So I don't like doing it, but so far, as of this day, I've only lost on 1 futures trade. And it's because there is no time to decay. As long as I hold on to it and I believe in what I initially thought, and maybe even scale in a little bit, I've only lost on 1 trade on futures. It's crazy because I'm able to hold it. Time decay doesn't come. It doesn't matter. So I don't know where these 2 goofballs went, man. But we were gonna talk about. We talked about the whole Trump assassination stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a very political person, as everybody knows. I mean, I basically call them the Crips and Bloods. I mean, that's what they are to me anyway. I vote for myself every year. When I do vote, I vote for myself anyway. But at the end of the day, like we were talking about, because Cheeseburger, he's real, anti-MAGA. And me and TooWoke don't have an iron in the fire at all.
Yeah.
I think that I just think it's a big puppet show. Yeah. And I think that obviously that these big decisions that are taking place are obviously taking place like behind the curtains by people with money. that's how this shit goes. It's politics. And anyway, we were getting into that, and they were asking, they both think that Kamala's going to win, and I was like, well, I don't have an iron in this fire, but if you're going to ask me what I think, I went with Trump. I don't know why. It doesn't matter to me, but I went with Trump as like my guess, not as my vote, as my guess.
I think you could gauge from social media who's going to win, but I don't think Trump is winning this time, bro. Like I thought at first, that because of what they're doing to him, like since he's the underdog, people would like show up to vote for him and shit. But I don't know. Like I think Kamala's going to have him beat. I think like Mark.
Well, look, Kamala could. Dude, I kid you not. Kamala's got a shot. I mean, she has a shot. And look, I'm not taking anything away from anybody. Like I said, I don't have an iron in this fire, dude. You know what? The only reason I care or watch these silly, comical debates and shit like that, it's just I just want to see how the market reacts to it. That's all I care about. I mean, that's all I care about, bro. So, anyways, what do you think? Who are you leaning towards? Not who you like, but who you honestly think might take it.
I think who's going to win this song?
Who? Kamala?
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, even TooWoke at first, back in July, he was very like, nah, there's no way Trump's. And then like, didn't take it very long for him to call me and be like, dude, I think I got to retract that statement on that podcast. He's like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean? He's just like, I don't know, dude.
What happened in July? Was that when he got the?
No. So we had a podcast after. So it was after that debate with Biden, and it was after the first Trump assassination.
That's like
that was his like peak, right? So we were very, and Cheeseburger Adam over there, and anyways. Again, I don't have an iron in the fire, but he asked on that episode, he's like, oh, who do you think? And me and TooWoke were both like, oh, Trump for sure. But now that's flipped, at least with TooWoke. For me, I don't know, man. It's 50-50. It's a coin flip for me at this point. But I'm leaning more towards Trump taking it. I mean, like, I don't fucking know, dude. I hate politics, bro. I hate politics. I can't stand that shit.
They all play the same game, bro. Like
it's the puppet show. It's a puppet
people used to make a big deal about that vote and shit. I'm like, bro, it shouldn't really matter. Like,
yeah.
I live in New York. My state votes blue. I already know what's going to happen.
I live in Houston. I currently live in Houston, and I mean, my state does not vote blue, but my city does.
Yeah. But your state always goes red. So
yeah, I mean, because it's fucking, dude, the fucking counties are giant counties, like outside of like the big cities, and it doesn't take many, there's not that many people in those counties, and so they all, you know what I mean? So,
red, gerrymandering.
But yeah, dude, I mean, Texas may one day. I don't know, dude. I don't even care.
It'll take a lot. I think more people are moving there, so I can see maybe like a decade, 20 years.
They're all moving to Austin or like Houston. I mean, the bigger cities where they're blue anyway.
Yeah, but you got to think if you're moving out there from up here, they're going to want to start investing in shit into the smaller, counties and shit.
Hey man, look, it could happen. I mean, I've seen it happen in plenty of other states. So who knows? But anyways, I mean, we basically covered when you weren't here. Well, actually, no, we did cover it. The whole recession, indicators and all that. We talked about those pager bomb things that were going off, and
I heard about that shit.
Yeah, well, I didn't really know much about it, but Cheeseburger explained it, and you'll be able to catch up on it when I drop the episode. We did the Japanese yen carry trade, and I just made some notes here, and then kind of just like we ran over the stock market. My personal opinion. I don't care what anyone says. Not calling the top. But I did feel a mini rally was going to happen after that. But history does show it may take some time, but the cratering is coming. And one good point that I made that when I streamed that shit live yesterday, there was like 7 or 8 of us in there, and Robird, who's like, she's an older lady, but she definitely respects the shit out of me. Like anyway, she was like, I thought they were going to do 0.25. She's like, I'm shocked that you thought they were going to do 50. And I said, well, you want to hear my reasoning behind that? And she said, yeah, of course. And I said, well, if they did a 0.25 first and then they did a 50, that's going to spook everybody because they're going to think something's fucked up in the economy. So they're going to start with 0.5 and then maybe go 0.25, because if you start small and then go big, it's meaning that something's cracking. And she goes, she's like, I never thought of it like that. Yada, 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 yada. And then we got into the whole commercial real estate stuff. The only thing that we did not really touch on that I don't really care about, honestly, is the MLB playoffs, the Astros and all that shit, because they're going back. They're number one in this season. I don't know if you're an MLB fan. I'm not. I think it's one of the most boring games ever to watch.
I'll bet on that shit.
The only reason I ever follow it or even anything is when the Astros are in the playoffs. That's
it's better to go to the games. That's all.
Well, yeah, going to the games, it's like being. It's like a thing to do. Like it's not. You're not even watching the game. I mean, there's some people are, but I can't sit and watch baseball on fucking TV, bro. It's like watching golf. It sucks. It's like watching paint dry. But well, since where'd you go?
I just had to go get some formula ready and shit. My phone died again. I forgot to.
I had a feeling it was something like that. Adam's gone, Cheeseburger gone. And I was just running Jay through just like basically everything we talked about before he got on. And then right before you hop back on, I was going to say, like, because I met Jay through Andrea, this chick, but he got in my Discord, man, years ago. And then, but you were there, but like you became way more involved, like a year ago or something. Like you were always in it, but that was when it was still like Bag Boys. That was when it wasn't even like a company or whatever. But what I was getting at is I like to make music. I've been doing it for a long time, and then me and Jay just started kind of talking. And man, so Jay, TooWoke's the one who actually found that sample, the lollipops, the Naked When You Come. He's the one who shared that to years ago. And then I showed it to Jay, and he fucking, I sent it to you. You heard that shit.
Yeah. It was dope.
Yeah, no, that was a great way. You sampled that. Yeah, you sampled that really well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I got a couple others that I'm still working on for you, but I gotta say, hands down though, bro, like still the number one jam so far, in my opinion, that I've heard of yours is I don't exactly know how to pronounce the name. It's the Bitches Be Choosing. Yeah. Wait, what is it? What is it called?
Playlist. I'm putting the parentheses choosing, so just make it.
Yeah, easy. Choosing. TooWoke, I sent you that song. You killed it on that, bro. That was just so good. That's such a good one. Actually, that'll probably be the outro song for this episode. But yeah, I know you sent me some other shit. I was listening to it too. I just been busy and haven't got a chance to like give any feedback. But yeah. Dude, he went to Japan, bro, and made like music videos and shit too.
Yeah. Nice, man. That's what's up.
How long were you out there?
Yeah, I'll go for like a couple of days and I'll come back.
Just to Japan? Like, that's so crazy. That's wild. When you sent me that, I was like, wait, is that you in Japan, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Yo, I wanted to do more with that video, but like budget-wise, I was like, I didn't have it. So I was like, fuck, let me do what I can. But that shit came out pretty good. Like,
what made you get? What was up with Japan now? Like, what was going on out there?
I just wanted to go. So I went back in like 2021, 2022, some shit like that for Halloween.
I've never been, man. I want to go so bad.
Then I went for New Year's and shit, and then I wanted to get after that. Nah, I went for New Year's, and then I chilled. I ain't go out there for like a while, I think. Then I went back in February to do the video and shit. But my boy travels a lot, so he's like, yo, you should come to Japan, bro. So y'all just went. That shit was lit.
That's tight. I've always wanted to go there, bro. It's like one of the top places that I want to go visit. So I'm gonna definitely go check it out.
It's like spiritual over there. It's like going over there is like a spiritual fucking experience because it's just so different. Like,
and their food and stuff though, like it's crazy. Like really all sorts of yeah, man. Like
everybody's like, well, Mandarin and shit like that. Like it's not like I feel like, especially being in New York, I feel like everybody's like overly aggressive and shit. Like I feel like in New York, I always feel like I gotta like walking down the street, might have to fight somebody or some shit for like no reason at all.
Go get a chopped cheese from the bodega.
Bro, somebody just looking at you certain ways, some shit. Just that's probably because it's like overly populated and everybody here is like broken shit.
Yeah, well,
I'll say,
and there's all them damn migrants they got in there too. I know y'all been having that issue.
Yeah, New York is just fucking different. Like, I don't know, bro. I've been out here like the majority of my life, and this is like the first time I feel like I might actually have to be like strapped up out here, just like walking down the fucking block. I'm like, yo, nah.
Oh, really?
Is that because of the migrants, or is that just because of just like what crime has become?
Yeah, just in general, bro. Like on the trains and shit. Like the trains have always been kind of bad, but you would see like maybe one like homeless person like on a cart, like per train. Now, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. I mean, I've been there. I've seen that. Yeah.
But now you might have like 2 or 3 in one cart, and just like sleeping on a train, just chilling. It's like, bro, this shit's never been this bad.
I mean, fuck, dude. Especially when it's cold out, dude. If they got nowhere to go, I mean, what?
I'm not even about the migrants, bro. I don't see the migrants unless I go into the city, but I've heard stories and shit.
No, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, not from like news channels, like, but from like literally like legitimate, like, yeah, guys like a guy who like lives in New York and like documents this shit. Like, it's kind of.
I've heard that shit's crazy. They're not on my side of town. Like, I have to go into the city to see that shit. Yeah, and I did go to the city a while back, and I was like, yo, bro, this shit is different. Like, I don't remember it being like this. It's just.
It's different, dude. I mean, I don't know what the number is. What is it, like 30,000 or something migrants or some crazy?
Oh, I think it was more than that. But dude, the fucking mayor of New York is a fucking nut job, bro. That fool's a fucking crazy.
Dude, when he fucking the whole thing with the trash cans on the sidewalk thing, like,
but yo, I was talking to my coworkers.
They're like gonna spend like millions of dollars. It was like, dude, wait, now it's 2024, and now you figure it out. Like what?
Yeah, but honestly, no mayor has done that. And I was talking to my coworkers about this shit, and they're like, yo, trash cans. I'm like, yo, bro, y'all go to the city. Like, there's literally rats everywhere, bro. Like, and you can walk down the block and you'll see like 50 garbage bags on the side of the street. Like, people are making fun of that shit, but that was kind of necessary. Yeah, he's just fucks around a lot, bro. I saw that shit.
Fucking crazy, dude.
But I'll be looking at it. I'm like, okay, this guy, he just has more. Probably because he's more laid back and has like a different personality than the other mayors. People look at him kind of differently, but they all do the same shit, bro. Like Giuliani got caught up in some whole shit with Trump, and he was mayor for like what 8 years. Bloomberg, I'm pretty sure Bloomberg, like,
yeah, he was just like the heavy on crime guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the dude's policies. I just mean in general, he's fucking crazy. Like, like in his personal life, I think he's just like, you meet the guy, he's just fucking, he's like literally insane. But yeah, I mean, no, but you're right. There's always rats in fucking New York, man.
And the feds own that guy now too. They don't have nothing on him, but his people, they've been. They found some shit on them, and one of those people, one of my boys he had like a juice / lounge in Coney Island, and the cops was like fucking with him over there and shit.
Oh damn!
And one of the people that they told him, they was like, yo, just call this guy and like we'll leave you alone. And the guy that they asked him to speak, they asked him to call, and then they asked him for some bread. Like trying to like kind of like extort
him. Yeah.
So that guy that was trying to extort him is like related to like I think he might be related to like the police commissioner or some shit like that. He's like his brother.
Okay.
And then I think the feds raided both of their cribs or some shit like that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that sounds like some fucking old school New York hustle going on, man.
Yeah.
It's just like nowadays they gotta be a little more slick with that shit than that. Like,
yeah, because people definitely putting you out, especially on social media shit. Like you can't.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. But yeah, man, New York. I haven't been to New York in a fucking very long time, but I always enjoyed it there. But it's one of those places I like to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. You know what I mean?
Just like I say this, but New York is like it's fun. Like
yeah. No, I mean that's what's so great about it. I mean, it's like it's an international ass city. Anything you want is there. You know what I mean? Like. And then there's always something live going on. It's never boring, you know.
What y'all talking about, New York?
Yeah.
Oh, I love New York, man. You know what? I was actually March of 2021. I was there, and I was on top of the World Trade Centers. 6 months before they fell. It's crazy.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I've just been there a bunch of times. It's probably my favorite city in the world, or in the country at least. It's dope.
I mean, you know,
it's just expensive, but it's dope as shit.
It's the best. I want to say I don't even want to say it's the best city in the world, but like,
well, it's one of my favorite cities in America. Okay, it is, because I'll tell you what. I mean, like, you definitely need to come down to H-Town, kick it with your boy, make some music. But Houston's cool and shit when you come and visit. But when you can live here, it fucking sucks. It sucks. And TooWoke knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't live there anymore for a reason.
I know.
What's so bad about it?
Dude,
it's just a concrete jungle of shit.
It's like, you been to LA?
Yeah.
It's like it's very similar to LA, not like the people, but like the setup of the city. It's giant.
LA with shitty weather.
Yeah, it's like LA with shitty weather and flat. There's freeways, there's traffic, there's big, it's the most comparable city to LA that I can actually even think of. It just doesn't have.
Before a big city, people are about as laid back as you can get for a city of that size. Like, it is pretty crazy how, like, and it's changing in that regard, but it's like
Houston is.
It's always had a little bit of a laid back attitude.
When you grow up here and you stay here, or you move, but you come back and you stay here. I mean, bro, like me and TooWoke, I mean, a lot of our friends are no longer they're either in jail or they are dead through either being murdered, drug overdoses. I mean, you fucking name it. And there's just a there's a negative, this feel. I don't know how to explain it. The city is cool especially if you don't live here and you come back and visit. And the food, my God, the food is insane.
The food is the best in the world. People don't realize that.
Oh, good. I mean, anything you want. And it's like, yeah, it's dang, bro.
Yeah, it's even more eclectic food than New York. It's just not, all of it's not so close together like New York City, but
yeah, like you have to drive. You got to have a car in H-Town. You're pretty much fucked. Straight up. But good luck taking the public transit. And
I've been lucky enough to travel a lot of the globe, dude, and nowhere comes close to H-Town as far as like what you want, we can go get it. Like we can get anything you want.
And barbecue. I mean, seafood. You get some of the best Asian food, Indian food. I mean, a lot of cities have all that shit. I'm just saying, it's the most diverse city in the country. That is a fact.
Most cities don't have options like that, though, of every food. Like, they might have one Indian spot or a couple dope ones, but it's like...
New York definitely does.
Yeah, they do, but still not as much, dude. Houston is more diverse than just about anywhere, bro. Like, it's crazy how diverse
it is. The good point is it's super spread out. So, you can't just take a subway to Chinatown. It ain't gonna work. I mean,
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it just, I don't know, man.
I could go for some fucking Tex-Mex right now, bro. That would be awesome.
Some what?
Tex-Mex, bro. I just want some
bro. El Tiempo's filet mignon fajitas are still my number one pick of all time, bro. So goddamn filet mignon fajitas, dog. Those things melt in your mouth. Oh my God, I haven't had those in a while. But yeah, man. I don't I'm out of topics. I'm glad. I mean, I don't unless anybody else has got anything they want to speak on. I just had to go grab another beer 'cause as soon as we cut this,
I'm just gonna. I just want to. I just pretty much. I still
Modelo,
think,
baby, you know, yeah.
I think going forward, still the way to make money right now, like easy money, is gonna be just like is gonna be bonds and currency. Those are the two places that are gonna have the most swings that don't historically have swings. So it's like right now, I think that's the place to keep the eyes on and just play the not sexy stuff. You know what I mean? Usually that's not the sexy play, but right now it is, man.
It's a little difficult to get into some of those types of plays if you're outside of the futures market. I mean, yes.
No, I mean, there's TLT and there's
TLT, but TLT on a normal day, a normal week,
I gotta go, baby.
doesn't really fucking move.
Have you been trade for people, Robert? Or is that strictly on like Webull and shit like that?
Wait, what?
TLT, can you trade that on Robinhood or like strictly on Webull and shit?
No, TLT you can trade it on Robinhood. You can trade it on anything. TLT is the 20+ year bond ETF. So basically, it's like getting exposure to the 20-year bond without having to own the fucking bond. And then there's SHY shy or HYG.
I should be trading this. These fucking.
But they move slow, bro. They move very slow unless some kind of event or something happens. We lost TooWoke again, but whatever. Yeah. It's all good. But no, man, I'm glad you made it to this show. I'm trying to bring this thing back, man, because when this thing was Tiz Talk podcast, from 2019 to 2022, I mean, shit, TooWoke was my co-host, and we'd have guests, but we'd do shows, once, at least twice a week, sometimes 35,000 subscribers. So on the audio, though, we started doing the YouTube shit like late night. It was really hard to get a lot of people to get to the YouTube. So at least I know when I put this out on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, this shit gets listened to. I didn't start this new. I just changed the name.
Your numbers look like they're going up, though. You went from like 48.
They are. But I also have a Bag Brigade podcast YouTube channel, too. I have that and the Bag Brigade Financial. But all the podcasts are also in the Bag Brigade Financial one, too. So you can find them anywhere. But yeah, man, I mean, that's basically the story of the Tiz Talk podcast and how this all became about, man. It's just crazy to think that I started the Bag Boys Discord server about 4 years ago with like 5 people. Out of all those people, it would be Gammonomics, me, Whoop, Drank, and then this other dude named DJ, and this other guy, Ghost Recon. They're still in there, but Drank's not active, DJ not active, Ghost Recon is sometimes, but usually it's Gammonomics and then Whoop. And from there, it just kind of organically grew. And then I think it was in December of last year, I decided to turn this into a real thing. And I got to say, bro, it's crazy. Like the amount of shit I, deal with. Like just from spamming and scamming to people wanting through LinkedIn or Twitter or just through Discord itself, like trying to link up. And I can tell when someone's genuine or when they're a scammer or a spammer very easily. Yeah. And actually that's how that algo came about, and I got another algo that's coming out soon. I can't speak too much on it right now, but I've mentioned it in the server, the crypto predictor thing. Well, it's going to be applied to SPY and things like that. I just got off the phone with the, the technician who owns the technology and all that. So right before we did this podcast. And so he was getting some information from me so he could start running some back test on the New York Stock Exchange. Right now it only runs on Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it's fucking every time I tried it, it was 100% accurate.
What, an algo?
It's not it's an algo, but it's a predictor. It's weird how to explain it. I don't know if I should say too much about it on this. I could tell you personally.
Bro, if it's 100% every time.
It is. Nothing's 100%, but like, let me put it this way. I'll tell you about it in person. I don't want to say too much because I don't, you know what I mean? Because this could be big, and I don't want to piss anybody off. So, but regardless, I'm telling you, I back tested it myself. I mean, and I live tested it.
Did they run it on? Did they run it on Solana too? Or was it just?
It can run on anything. It just the person who designed it just needs the back date, data from the past to be able to kind of code this thing in a certain way. So I don't. Yeah. So, anyways, I was talking to him, and and I said, man, if you could get this thing to run on the New York Stock Exchange, or be able to do SPY or QQQ or anything like that, bro, that'd be insane. I could really push the product, for sure. So I'll tell you in person a little bit more about it. I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah, man. I mean, you got what's up with your music, man? You got what's coming out. I mean, I know I know you be sending me stuff all the time. I see some stuff on Instagram, but I know you finally dropped the Choosing song. I know that.
Yeah, all that shit that I'm the shit that I'm previewing on IG right now, I'm probably gonna put on a project down the line. So I'm working through a lot of shit, but I'm just a lot of rough drafts. I just finished one song today. I finished another one last week. And
when you say you finished a song, you finished the beat, or you actually finished the beat and the vocals and everything.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a 3-verse song, but I just did one of those shits today. So yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, bro. No, and I have in my catalog, I probably have 500 unfinished beats for over the past 4 years, just because I'll move on to the I just get, you know what I mean, but I like the critique that you give me. It's just it's so much different building a song out from intro to verse to bridge to chorus to verse to without being with the artist. In my opinion, I mean, I do struggle with that, because I'll think something sounds tight, but then it's shit. I mean, I got to resequence the whole goddamn thing, to make it really work. You know what I mean? And you've critiqued me on it, and I've tried to, be better about it. So I'm working on it, but I got some stuff I'll be sending you for sure.
I'm a melody guy for the most part. So because I think melodies carry records. A melody can make or break a record.
I think melody is the most important part. I usually, I'll either start with a drum pattern just to get some beat going and then throw melody over it, or sometimes I might just start with the melody and then just pick drums after. I mean, it just depends on what I'm doing. I'll be I told you, I downloaded fucking 150 rack extensions and loop packs the other day. It's now I don't even know what to do with all these things, bro. There's so many things that I don't even. I was on a rampage, dude. I don't even know what I was doing. Why? They were all free. Some of them suck, but yeah. No, I mean, I don't really got much else to say. All I got to say is that let's definitely. Sorry, my bad. The other night, female got in the way, and I could not get the fuck off the phone, and I was just damn it. Anyways, we got to start doing some more, share screen collabs and stuff, work together, because it'll really help me at least structure the fucking song the right way.
Yeah, we can knock out a whole project, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I ain't talked to Cuddy in a minute. I barely even talked to Bubby. I don't even know, bro. I don't care. I mean, dude, that shit was just just to be able to work with these types of people
crazy
is a blessing. It is what it is. But I mean, dude, you got talent, you got the voice, you know how to produce. I mean, you know how to master. I mean, that's basically what I do. Sometimes I can throw in some verses here and there. The Jewish wizard, that my rhymes right to the left. But yeah, we got to collab, man. I want to make because as soon as we get off with this, I'm not editing this tonight. I'm going straight to just making some music.
Yeah, I'm probably doing the same for 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to get some sleep.
Shit. Oh yeah, you're an hour ahead. Shit. Yeah, it's 10:30 here. Yeah, I mean, I got to get up early for the fucking market, dude. I mean, in 30 minutes, the damn Bank of Japan's about to make a decision, so Buck futures markets might go crazy. I don't know.
That shit 24/7, right?
Futures do not run on the weekends, and they run basically 23 hours a day. So they go from 5 p.m. your time all the way until 4 p.m. your time. There's a 1 hour break. Commodity futures are different, but like your your S&P, like your ES, NQs, like things like that. Those are 23.5.
I'm gonna look into that shit, bro. But I'm gonna just say,
well, I have a whole tutorial video I made on YouTube for you guys on how to paper trade options on fucking Thinkorswim.
Let's stick with options. I'm good with options too.
Me too. I will always trade options. I feel like I finally graduated to futures after all this time. I've been trading fucking options for like 7 years.
Crazy.
Lost like 60 grand in year one. Most people would have quit. I didn't. I kept going. But yeah, I have a whole tutorial on how to do it on Thinkorswim, paper trade on Thinkorswim. I mean, you can do it on Webull. Webull has it. Webull has it now.
I gotta set up on Webull and shit, but
yeah, Webull has paper trading features too. I mean, I just like
it's like a discipline thing. So if I don't have the discipline to just like take profit when I should on options, then I'll probably fuck that shit up.
Well, here's the thing with futures: you have to use stop losses.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. It's the one. I don't use stop losses on options, but on futures, you fucking have to. Because if it goes, I'm telling you, it could go against you real fast. But I mean, a couple of ticks, and you're holding a couple of contracts that could cost you a couple grand.
That's crazy, bro.
It's wild, but it depends on what you're trading. They're all different. But, well, anyways, I'll say this. We'll go ahead and get ready to end this thing. And what I usually like to do is just, and I usually say the same fucking thing every time, kind of give our little peace outs or whatever. But I'll start it and you can kind of just run off like whatever. But I just want to appreciate, first of all, you, J-Prez, El Presidente, for hopping on for the first time. Going to be super stoked to continue to work with you on the music side and just trading and all this stuff. And I'm glad TooWoke was able to make it. He usually makes every show. He's got a baby now, so it's like he has to kind of just dip out.
You guys call him Cheeseburger because of his last name?
Well, kind of, yeah. His last name's Lichtenberger, so we used to call him. I've known TooWoke for 20 years. I've known Adam Cheeseburger for probably 25, 30. So I've known these guys for a long time. And Lichtenberger, we used to call him Chicken Burger. We used to call him all sorts, like in middle school, like Lick 10 Boogers, like, dude, just stupid shit like that. Like, I mean, dude, my nicknames went from Tay, which that was the one that stuck for years. And finally that kind of dissolved and it turned into Chuck. Chuck Taylor, Chuck too. Like, dude, nobody on Discord knows my. Dude, it's Chuck Boomberg, baby. It's Chuck Taylor over here. Like, they don't call me Taylor, bro. Like, they, you know what I mean? Like, they just don't. But yeah, like, I mean, Tay was one. I don't even remember all the other ones, but yeah, man, I've known those guys forever, and just crazy, like, you know, just to still be in contact and like do that, especially TooWoke, because TooWoke's my boy. I mean, I talk to him probably fucking 5 times on the phone every single day. Oh, you see what's going on with platinum futures right now? Let's start going on. I'm busy running a server right now with fucking scammers and spammers, and my options are getting killed. Like, no, I'm not looking at platinum futures right now. But no, anyways, like what I was saying is, appreciate everybody who's listening or watching this show. This would be actually the 3rd episode of the Bag Brigade podcast. I don't know what episode of the entire Tiz Talk Bag Brigade Legacy it is, but I'd probably say it's somewhere near this in the 70th episode or whatever total. You can always go back to Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube, and every episode is posted all the way back from the beginning. But with that being said, I just want to thank you again, Jay, TooWoke, Cheeseburger, and everybody who's listening and watching. And I'm going to leave you guys at this. This is what I always say. Well, actually, I usually say 2 things, but Let me say the first thing first, and I'll think if I want to say the second thing. Chuck Bloomberg does not ask why, ever. He asks why not. Get it? Why not? Why the fuck not? I could go into the second one. Actually, I'll do it just for you since you're here. I think people get really, I think they're sick of this one already. Holler at the Tiz for honor, to getting honor, to staying honor. Hey, if you can't come in her, come honor.
Yo.
I know I've been saying that for years on this show. But yeah, man, what you got to say to the peeps? Or you don't got to say much, man. I mean, that's just kind of usually.
It's been real. Thanks for having me on the show, and I look forward to.
Come on. You're always welcome, man. You're always. I love having any guest, and I can fit 10 people on this damn thing. You know what I mean? If I had, that'd get chaotic as hell. But I think 4 is like the max.
That's it. Yeah, 4 is. Maybe 3.
Usually it's 3. Usually it's me and TooWoke and one other. Sometimes it'll be just me and TooWoke. Sometimes we'll have 4. I mean, it depends, but
3 is like perfect. But 4 is
3 is ideal for this situation. 4 can get chaotic. Any more than that, it's just like, what are you doing? But yeah, man, I'm glad you hopped on, man. Definitely want to have you back on the show, and looking forward to, waking up to NVIDIA being, sky high.
Yeah, I'm out that shit. So hopefully for you, like,
oh, you got out. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I was pissed. I'm gonna just start selling, like, go for it. Fuck all that shit.
I know, dude. We both fucked up. I mean, I should have sold it. I don't even want to think about it. Like, it's so stupid. It's like I was up like 60%, and I didn't sell. I just immediately, like in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
And then I was like, God damn it, but whatever. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go. Appreciate you being on the show. Bag Brigade fam. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know when the next episode will be, but it will be, it'll be in the next couple weeks, maybe next week. I don't know. If you are part of the Bag Brigade, you know where to find us in the server. I'll drop all the links and all the description, everything in the video. You can find the Discord. You can go to the webpage. You can, all the Twitters and everything. And I'll even put your handles out there for you. If you want to say them verbally, go for it. If you want to go ahead and do that, but I'll make sure I put them out there too, though, on the description.
Oh, yeah. J-R for Prez on Twitter, JAYM_R on Instagram. And I'll holler at y'all later, man. It's been real.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Good seeing you. And you have a good night. Later, later, Bag Brigade fam. Peace.
I ain't finna tell y'all how Rock got away with this shit.
Yeah. We ain't got no. No, I'm a New York nigga. I be down south and shit, feel me?
Yeah.
We ain't got no top. Cruising in the drop, all the bitches gon' fly. Yeah. When we spin the block, know them girls choose. Know them hoes choose. Said you know them girls choose. Yeah. Puffin' on a joint with no grab in it. Straight smoke for you blows, this that lava in it. Rollin' with my niggas and they might get it. And we got them foreigns with that push to start ignition. Porsches and shit. This ain't even pimpin', it's some player shit. You know I keep it G, I don't even gotta pay a bitch. There's some niggas out here that's on some hatin' shit. See them outside, they just got up, pacing shit. It's cool. It ain't my fault, bro. Nah, just make sure the weed louder than an exhaust, bro. Cold pipe, cold heart for the bro code.